Okay, so we just finished reading Gaston. This is a fun little book about this bulldog. And we're going to do a real simple little drawing exercise. Remember, we're just using stuff that you might have at home. I'm just going to use a big fat black crayon. You could use a black marker or a pencil, blank paper. But before we do this, I wanted to show you, this is kind of a fun book for kids. This is one of the Ed Emberley's books. And it's said, learn to draw the Ed Emberley way. Well, the Ed Emberley way is breaking down a drawing into little components. So it's like you just start here and you follow the directions, and when you finish, you're gonna end up with a little thing that looks like his version of a dog. So let's do that first. Let's do a really simple one. Maybe since we're gonna draw a dog in a second, maybe we'll do the cat together. So you can do this with me, or you can watch and do it afterwards. So here's the one we're gonna look at. Here's the cat. So the first thing you draw is a little circle. It's gonna be the cat's face. And then you're gonna draw some little triangle shapes for ears. The next thing we do is make the little shapes for where his eyes are gonna be. These almost look like glasses to me. Then we're gonna color in. I'm not gonna do the coloring in part right now. You can do that later. The next thing we're gonna do right here is make the kitty's nose and the bottom part of his mouth. Remember, this is Ed's way. This is a way to practice to get your confidence. If you already know how to draw a cat, you don't need this. Next, we're gonna draw the kitty's little eyeballs. Next, what's up? His whiskers. And the last thing, he's got some eyebrows. This cat looks like he's really curious. Then I could go back and color that in later. All right, so those are Ed Emberley. He's got all kinds of books. There's one about weirdos, animals, trucks and trains. So using that kind of idea, let's go back and look at Gaston, and let's practice drawing Gaston. Let me find a page where there's a big version. Here's a cute picture of Gaston. So if we break it into little components like that, the first thing I'm gonna do is make kind of a little round shape for Gaston's head. All right, and remember, I'm doing this on rock, so it's getting kind of a ruffle, kind of a texture. That's okay. The next thing I'm gonna do is draw his body. And if I just don't look at the legs yet, but just look at where his body comes out, it's kind of, not quite it's kind of a softened rectangle, kind of a sausage shape. So I can draw that there. Okay, and this looks like he's sitting with his front feet like this and his back legs kind of underneath. So then I could draw a leg, and a leg, a leg, and another leg. Look, he's got his toenails are showing. All right, it might be fun to draw his ears. They almost look like little bunny ears, kind of. I'm gonna make that little inside part. I can come back in and make that pink later. And the last thing I'm gonna do, I forgot his tail. Last thing I'm gonna do is Gaston's face. So he's got a little round black nose, and then his eyes are pretty big and round right next to them. And then we just make this kind of shape underneath for his smile. Does that look like that? A little bit, huh? So I can come back in. Let me see. Here's some of my other stuff. I don't have a pink in here, so I'm going to improvise and make the inside of his ears kind of an orange color. So that's kind of fun when you're learning how to draw to do that. All right, and thanks for joining us.